All right, so this is the start of this series from the 30s.
Yeah, they like I said before, they pretty much well in the last interview, they pretty much well stayed to the basic tractor as far as everything. From 34 to 38, they didn't change hardly nothing on these here. Now them tractors were also, a whole slew of them come out with the steel wheels. And then they had the deal to where, you know, you could have a company come to your field and they would do steel cut-offs. They'd cut the center spokes of the wheels, the outer spokes that hook through the rim, and they would go ahead and put in a rim for a tubeless tire.
Okay, can you point that out?
And actually I'll have to find one. I don't know if I got one with steel wheels, but what they actually end up doing.
Is this 35? That looks like it might be.
No, it's got rubbers on it. But what they ended up doing here is pretty simple. They just cut these off the steel wheel off right here. They cut them all the way around. They slid that wheel in, they welded them. Now they didn't take them back to the shop like we do today or have a computer do it. This guy did it in the field. And, you know, them rims are true as can be. He didn't even have, I mean, no run out, no nothing. So, you know, even back in the 30s and 40s, we had people that was pretty educated on welding. You wouldn't think that would be in them at that time and era, but it's amazing some of the stuff that we've got away from nowadays.
Yeah.
And we actually did. That's why we put this on down here. And I like to get unusual stuff, because the deal with it is a lot of people has never been introduced to the old lifestyle, and you know, they got spoiled on this new stuff. So
yeah, especially
they come
in the
down
last
here, and
20-30 years.
If you come down here to my display, and if I'm not here, there'll be someone at the tent. Got any questions about anything that you see on a tractor, we'll do our best to try to answer it for you there and educate you a little bit.
Okay, let's look at something else.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do you want to go with the vocational school again up here?
That's fine.
Because I like, you know.
So what does the vocational school do here?
Okay, the Pickaway Ross Joint Vocational School is a career technology center that's north of Chillicothe.
Yep.
I went there myself.
And it's actually not the vocational school anymore.
Well, it's just Pickaway Ross
Career and Technology Center.
Technology Center. Well, this gentleman here, he's a local farmer.
Yep.
And he does a lot of acreage around here. He had this tractor. He donated the tractor to where they could have that as a project for the year. Now, this was last year they did this. And, you know, I think the auto body did the paint, and the auto mechanic shop, they messed around with the engine and stuff. So that way it gets them introduced to some of the older stuff, and I think that's a real good, a super good program out there. I graduated out there myself. I put 35 years in the same job that they put me in job placement, and it really helped out. You know, I recommend it highly.
It's good to have hands-on skills, because we still need plumbers and electricians.
Yeah, the chance of the kid like in an auto mechanic class actually going to a company that rebuilds tractors probably slim. But you know what? You always got that one kid that might want to go out there and start restoring. And you know, we need people to restore old tractors too. A lot of guys don't have the capability of doing it. And that's a super, real good program out there. I highly recommend it.
And it's a little more real than programming websites and all that.
It's better than sitting in school for the last 2 years of your high school career and doing the same thing you did for the last several years. You get an education. That's what this world's about now, to educate and get advanced in life. And we need a lot more of that.
A vocational degree is still respectable.
You know, it's a degree you can get while you're still in high school, and you're not paying the big bucks to get it, and it does help you get a job later on. They do their best to get you a job placement.
All right, what else would you like to point out here?
Okay, I'll go up here at these Olivers up here.
Okay.
We got a gentleman that lives up in Greenfield. Him and his buddies brought these tractors down from Greenfield, and we'll walk down here and I'll show them to you. All three of them's unusual Olivers. And this guy that painted these things, he don't skip any corners when he does one. When he does one, whatever you see on them tractors is what it should be like. And actually one of them is actually a high crop tractor, and a couple years ago we done an article on some farmall high crop down here where they do them in, you know, the cane fields, anything, you know, tobacco fields, and usually that's out usually west or up in Canada probably. So we'll come over here and I'll let him do a zoom around on this Oliver high crop 88 Super 88.
Okay, this is where you want clearance above your crops.
Yeah, this is where you want to not damage them. It ain't like you're going to take that out there and do a row of beans with it. Of course, you don't need that to do a row of beans, but when you get into the larger crops, that way you can go ahead, and that's why they call it the high clearance, to where you can get up above everything and get her done. And this next one right here, this is an Oliver 99, and this thing here has a Detroit diesel in it. Now you don't see a lot. This is a real high demand antique tractor, pulling tractor. A lot of the guys go for the Detroit. Boy, they can pull. And of course this one here probably has never seen that. He's pretty well got it all dressed up. But yeah, that tractor there, they're out there, but you're not going to come across them every day for sale, because everybody takes care of them.
So some of the tractors on display here might be pretty rare.
Yeah, these three right here are probably the rarest in here, especially this, probably the high crop over here. You don't see them, and I'm glad he brought them down. And this one here is basically an Oliver 99. This is an older year.
Yep.
You see the difference. Basically the same tractor, but that one's a super. That means it's got a little more horsepower, a few more little options on it, and that one there's like a standard. Yeah, basically the same as the unstyled John Deere.
Yeah, that looks
a basic tractor, and it's older, and then they went to the as I call styled. But Oliver don't consider it a styled tractor. They just consider it a Super 99.
The one looks like 10 years older than the other.
Well, yeah, they you know, you go again and look at some of the tractors that they made in the 40s, 50s. It's amazing how today how they round the cars off. They kind of was starting to do that with the tractors, rounding the edges from square to round, and that was a real neat thing on the education of part of the tractor there. So
what other groups are in the area and events in the area for something like tractors?
The only club, we don't have a club here locally. The only club that we have is there's a small club out of Bainbridge called the Bainbridge or the Paint Valley Antique Tractor Collectors. I've been a member in that club. Real nice club. Everybody's easy to get along with. They do a lot of tractors and a lot of riding lawnmowers. A lot of clubs don't do the riding on lawnmower aspect. And if you're a young person, you start out with a riding lawnmower, that's one club you could actually go. And you can go on their website, and they have several shows during the year. And another show around the 1st of July would be the Piketon show down there, Southern Ohio, antique tractors. And then next week, after the fair, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, a week from Saturday, the Fairfield County Lancaster Fair, the Fairfield County Antique Tractor Collectors is having their yearly show up there the weekend after the next.
Okay.
And that's a real good show to go to at the fairgrounds in Lancaster.
And I'm certain if you find one person who is into this kind of stuff, he can tell you about other people and other events.
Yeah, the main thing to do, folks, when you're interested in these tractors and stuff, really anything in life, don't be afraid to ask somebody. That's how you get your information. And a lot of people, it might be false information. Usually on the antique tractor thing, it's all good guys, farm guys, or average Joes. They won't beat you around the bush. They'll help you out. So if you got an older guy in the neighborhood and you're having trouble getting something going, don't be afraid to ask him. He'd probably be happy to help. And that's what I do. I got friends I call, and like I said, don't be bashful. Just go ahead and that's how you learn.
All right, and we're in the antique tractor display.
Yep.
Next to the the first parking area and south of the horse barn, and
I'd like to see everybody come out and enjoy it there. I know we really enjoy ourselves.
and
Thank you.
especially the parade on Thursday.
Yep. Thanks for interviewing.
All right, thank you.
Yep.